Now at 5, no in-person learning for 3 straight days.
Why the doors are still closed at Muncie Central High after a student protest.
It's going to be a cold start to our Friday. Morning temperatures in the 20s. The rest of your Friday forecast and the weekend too.
Stolen tools and construction equipment.
How police made this discovery worth nearly $200,000. Live from Indy, you're watching 13 News.
Thanks for inviting us in on this Thursday. Students didn't go to school for a 3rd straight day at Muncie Central High following a class project.
And the district tonight still not providing a clear reason why. We do know that project not well received by the district or school officers. And in response, students held a protest Monday.
E-learning days then followed, and our Gina Glaros is in Muncie for us right now, getting to the bottom of it.
Muncie Central High School is empty for a 3rd day in a row as students learn virtually from home. Also happening, the school board is set to meet to discuss safety and security. It all stems from a school assignment. Teacher Katie O'Connor instructed students, including Gabrielle Butler, to make a poster about social issues.
Most of us, we decided to go towards like Black Lives Matter and police brutality.
Students displayed their posters in a hallway, including this one. The poster appears to show an animal dressed as a police officer with blood spilling out of its mouth. The Muncie Community School Board says the poster has divided some students and school resource officers.
They talked to administration and then our posters had to be moved. We couldn't have them out in the hallway anymore.
And Black Lives Matter! In response, some students protested Monday. This is video of their demonstration.
They took away our freedom of speech.
The school board tells 13 News it's been investigating and meeting with the people involved.
These kids, they have valid concerns, and we understand that. We have heard their concerns, and they deserve to have those concerns addressed. Where change is needed, change will take place.
Schools don't have to provide any reason for e-learning days. They just have to send the Department of Education the mode of instruction. School is expected to be back in class on Friday with different SROs than last week. In the meantime, I've been messaging with O'Connor, who says the assignment was to bring awareness. They're getting an A+.
The school board plans to email parents after tonight's security meeting, and the board also tells us today they're not going to allow any more in-school protests. In school, the high school will encourage the students to march to City Hall and back after school next week.
Tonight, the Indianapolis Public School Board may decide to share referendum dollars with its charter schools. Now, back in 2018, voters approved more than $270 million to help pay for safety and security upgrades and to increase teacher pay. Because of innovative charter schools are part of IPS, some wondered if they should get a cut of the money. The district put together a proposal that would give charter schools a $5 million cut, which is $500 per student.
Our step right now is to support and provide access to those resources for the entire family of IPS schools, including our innovation charter school partners.
Well, some parents support the sharing proposal. Others say it's a bad financial move. The board is scheduled to vote on the issue at the meeting tonight, which gets underway at 6 o'clock.
Investigators found nearly $200,000 worth of stolen power tools and equipment.
They say they discovered this huge staff at a Southwest Side house when they came there with the SWAT team because they were serving an arrest warrant. However, the suspect wasn't home.
Rich Nye was there, though, as police kept bringing out more and more property taken from area businesses.
That pickup truck and that trailer, both full of what police believe are stolen power tools. And that's just the beginning of all the things taken out of this house and off this property. Police believe they may have recovered up to $200,000 worth of stolen equipment.
People buy their own trade around, but I never thought about him thieving it, you know. He seemed like a nice guy. I've never had any problems with him.
The items confiscated on West Epler Avenue are mostly power tools, but also rifles, riding lawnmowers, even what's left of a car reported stolen.
We're hoping to be able to get these construction tools back to their owners, back to the hands in which they belong in.
Police first came here Wednesday afternoon looking for a burglary suspect. He is not yet in custody, but lots of stuff that apparently does not belong to him is.
And now to the nation's capital, where President Joe Biden is working to make sure more people can keep their heat on during the cold months ahead. The White House plans to distribute several $billions in aid for winter heating and utility bills. That money comes from the $1.9 trillion coronavirus relief package. It's also providing an additional $4.5 billion for the government's low-income home energy assistance program.
A little bit after 5 o'clock on this Thursday night, and as predicted by Angela, the sun was out today, and boy, it looked great.
It looked great.
If you're inside, it looked great, or we're in the car with the heat going. It's going to be cold tonight, right?
Cold tonight, mid-20s tonight. Out the door on your Friday morning, grab the heavy coat. We're 20 degrees colder than this time yesterday. So no surprise, we're starting with this map. We're down 20 in Indianapolis, Shelbyville, Muncie, and Columbus, down 26 degrees in Kokomo and Lafayette. It is a cold afternoon, early evening, and that will be the case over the next several hours. Lafayette, Kokomo, you're only in the mid-30s. We do have the low 40s elsewhere, including 41 Indianapolis, Muncie, 42 in Richmond, and 43 in Bloomington and Columbus. We do have a few clouds overhead. You can see a few of those. Kokomo, Sharpsville. Looks like it's going to be a great sunset in Carmel and Hamilton County. We still have some sunshine over Bedford. Sunset this evening happens at 5:27. Most of the evening we're going to spend in the 30s. I'll have those local low temperatures in your full forecast.
All right, Angela, thanks. For a second straight day, we're seeing new COVID cases in the state of Indiana at highs we haven't seen since early October.
Yeah, today our state reported more than 3,900 new positive cases. This is a 24% jump in just the last week, and this is a trend we're seeing all across the country.
Also going up, the number of deaths climbing. Dr. Anthony Fauci says there's plenty of things that you can do right now to help end this pandemic.
We are not going to be going through this indefinitely. How quickly we get to the end depends on us. How well we vaccinate, how well we get boosted, and how well we do the kinds of things to protect ourselves.
The White House now is making a big investment in Pfizer's new COVID treatment.
Now, the FDA has not granted this emergency use yet. However, the president said his administration already purchased 10 million courses of this pill.
Early data from Pfizer shows it can reduce hospitalizations and deaths by 89% as long as it's taken within 3 days of showing symptoms.
The president went on to say this could be available by the end of this year, and it'll be free for anybody who needs it.
And we have some new information tonight. The feds have now charged 2 Iranians with interfering with the 2020 election. They're accused of sending emails believed to have been from a far-right group to thousands of voters. The emails contain threats of physical violence if the voter didn't switch parties and vote for the president at the time, who was Donald Trump. They're also accused of compromising a voter registration website in one state, getting info on more than 100,000 U.S. voters. President Biden signed 3 bills focused on first responders into law today.
One of those is the bipartisan First Responders Act. That one will call for improved access to benefits for first responders who are disabled in the line of duty.
Another of the laws, the Cops Counseling Act. This provides support counseling programs for law enforcement officers. And soon now it's going to be easier to reach the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline. The FCC just approving an easy-to-remember 3-digit number.
This new number is going to be 988. It won't be active until next July, but once it's up and running, you'll be able to call that number or text it.
In the meantime, and currently, that number is 1-800-273-TALK. And now some breaking news that we're following tonight at 5 o'clock.
2 of the 3 men convicted of killing Malcolm X were exonerated today. 83-year-old Muhammad Aziz and the late Khalil Islam were convicted in that 1965 assassination.
A 2-year investigation revealed withheld evidence, so a judge threw out both of their convictions today.
I'm an 83-year-old man who was victimized by the criminal justice system. I do not know how many more years of creative activity I have. However, I hope the same system that was responsible for this travesty of justice also takes responsibility for the immeasurable harm caused to me during the last 55 or 56 years.
There's a third man, Thomas Hagan, who was also convicted of killing that civil rights leader.
Happening now, jurors in the Kyle Rittenhouse trial are still deliberating in Kenosha, Wisconsin. They did not make any requests of the judge today. Yesterday, the jurors asked to watch several videos that were a key part of that trial. And the defense attorneys for the 3 men accused of killing Ahmaud Arbery rested their case. They called 7 witnesses, including one of the men who is facing charges. 6 neighbors also testified in this trial. They shared concerns about crime in the neighborhood. The 3 men facing charges are accused of chasing and killing Arbery in February of 2020, claiming he was running from a house that was under construction. Arbery's family members say he was just out for a jog at the time he was killed.
So do you support a diplomatic boycott of the Beijing Olympics?
Something we're considering.
President Biden confirming right there might be a diplomatic boycott of the 22 Winter Games in Beijing.
Now, the United States would still allow athletes to compete. However, there would not be a government delegation at those games.
Human rights advocates have urged countries to hold China accountable for its record on human rights by skipping the Winter Games in February.
Well, we've all seen it and certainly felt it. Rising prices on just about everything at the grocery store.
That's right. Why it appears the price of milk's gone up all across the country. We'll verify.
Rain from last night now moving toward the East Coast. Check out all the lake effect snow coming off Lake Michigan. None of that in our forecast, but rain chances do return. We'll look ahead to the weekend.
Hey everybody, Dave Calabro hanging out doing what I do best. I'm playing with toys. The Indiana Pacers they're bringing it big time, helping kids all across our state with another great toy giveaway. We'll tell you all about it next. Hope you stay with us and put a smile on your face, I promise.